अंधश्रद्धानी जगाचे मार्ग होते केलेले. ज्ञान विज्ञानातुनी ये सत्य आता प्रत्ययाला संपला अंधार, संपला अंधार. मूढ सृष्टीचे कळाया ध्यासजांचे श्वास झाले. मूढ सृष्टीचे कळाया ध्यासजांचे श्वास झाले.
पीडितांचे दुःख जाता सौख्य ज्याला लाभलेले.
पीडितांचे दुःख जाता सौख्य ज्याला लाभलेले. थोरया ज्ञानी जनांचा, थोरया ज्ञानी जनांचा वारसा आम्हा मिळाला. संपला अंधार, संपला अंधार. सत्य आहे जीवनी ते पाहण्या दृष्टी मिळावी. सत्य आहे जीवनी ते पाहण्या दृष्टी मिळावी.
सत्य जे जे ये पुढे ते साहण्याची वृत्ती यावी.
सत्य जे जे ये पुढे ते साहण्याची वृत्ती यावी. मानवा संगे जपावे, मानवा संगे जपावे. सृष्टीच्याही वैभवाला संपला अंधार, संपला अंधार. विश्वसंचारास आता आपणाला लाभलेले. मानवाचे हात आता ते ग्रहांशी पोचलेले. विश्वसंचारास आता आपणाला लाभलेले. मानवाचे हात आता ते ग्रहांशी पोचलेले. सिद्ध आम्हीही, सिद्ध आम्हीही नव्हे. आव्हान घेते लावयाला. संपला अंधार, संपला.
Namaskar. Hello, I am Shubhada Vakte. Good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. Today is 11th February 2022 and we have gathered here virtually in WebEx meeting as well as on YouTube to celebrate National Science Day. Dr. Vidya Patil ma'am, Dr. Mugdha Patki ma'am and other professors of Ruparel College as well as dignitaries of Marathi Vidnyan Parishad are also present. Again, welcome all of you. Marathi Vidnyan Parishad organizes various programs. We spoke about some programs yesterday and day before yesterday. Today, Sucheta ma'am will brief about some awards and competitions. I would like to invite Srimati Sucheta Bhide to share it. Over to Sucheta.
Hello, good evening everybody. Friends and professor of Ruparel College. You have been listening about National Science Day and why National Science Day is celebrated. Now about Marathi Vidnyan Parishad. We all know that Marathi Vidnyan Parishad is a charitable organization. For last 55 years, Marathi Vidnyan Parishad has been carrying out various programs for science dissemination. There are many programs for different age groups. Today's we will see some programs related to college students and professors. I would like to tell you about some related competitions, awards, and rewards. Yes. Now listen here, please. Some programs here.
Please wait.
There are various programs of Marathi Vidnyan Parishad. For example, one is that there are competitions, Vidnyan Ekankika Spardha, that is science one act play. Drama is a medium of entertainment. With the entertainment, people must understood how scientists face the difficulties while research. Considering this, Marathi Vidnyan Parishad started since 2015, that is Science One Act Play, Vidnyan Ekankika Spardha. One Act Play, there are many programs. One Act Play based on the scientists and their discoveries. Then second subject is that science fiction, and reward given for that subject for that competition is for first rank it is 31,000, for second rank 21,000, and for third rank it is 11,000. This is one competition. Then second competition is science. There is one award, that is Science Research Award. No academic qualification for this. This is very important. Anyone between 15 to 25 years can be eligible for this program. Anyone can be between the age 15 to 25 can be eligible for this program. So there are total 3 rewards under the screen. That is Parshuram Baji Agashe Puraskar, Leela Parshuram Agashe Puraskar, and Sharad Naik Puraskar. The award, that is 12,000 is the amount for this reward. Then another one program is that MSc scholarship scheme from Marathi Vidnyan Parishad. This is for MSc students, that is physics, biology, and mathematics, as well as statistics. Also, the students who are doing MA in mathematics can eligible for this scholarship. Then the amount of that scholarship is 10,000 for part first and 10,000 for second also. Manmohan Sharma Award for Science and Technology. This is very important award. This is for teachers and teachers of university level and college level in Maharashtra state. The award is 1 lakh rupees. This is very important, and I think there are some professors of Ruparel College can apply for this award. I request to the students and professor of Ruparel College to join Marathi Vidnyan Parishad as a volunteer, as a donor, and contribute Marathi Vidnyan Parishad science dissemination work. मराठीत असं म्हणतात की एखाद्या कार्यामध्ये तन मन धन देऊन तुम्ही भाग घेऊ शकता. तसं तुम्ही व्हॉलेंटियर म्हणून इकडे जॉईन शकता. यू कॅन जॉईन ॲज अ व्हॉलेंटियर. यू कॅन डोनेट सम अमाऊंट फॉर मराठी विज्ञान परिषद and help for Marathi Vidnyan Parishad work. Thank you.
All these events are interesting and prestigious, including state level Science One Act Play, the Science Research Award for degree students, the MEC Scholarship Scheme, and the Manmohan Sharma Award. You can take part in it. Visit our www.mapipa.org website for additional details. Thank you, Suchita ma'am. On the occasion of National Science Day, Ruparel College of Arts, Science and Commerce, in collaboration with Marathi Vidnyan Parishad, has organized a lecture series. On 9 February, Dr. Amol Dike delivered a lecture on some recent advances in physics research. On 10 February, Dr. Ranjan Karke sir gave a presentation on latest updates in biology research. Now, today is the third day of this lecture series. Dr. Hemant Joglekar will give a talk on research trends in chemistry and expectations from corporates. Welcome, sir. I would like to invite Dr. Mugdha Patki to introduce him. Patki ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, madam. Now, I'm really fortunate to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Hemant Joglekar. Dr. Joglekar has wide spectrum experience in various fields of chemistry. He took his basic education from Wilson College, then Institute of Science and UDCT, now called as ICT. Then he worked as a research associate in ICT for postdoctoral work. Then he also worked in Hindustan Lever under a sponsored project. After that, he joined Asian Paints Limited and he worked across different positions such as R&D executive. He started with R&D executive, then resin production in charge of Mumbai plant. Then he was manager quality support group at corporate quality cell. He was then senior manager contract manufacturing. He handled entire operations part of contract manufacturing across pan India. Dr. Joglekar was awarded many fellowship awards from Mumbai University, Hindustan Unilever, CSIR, and so on. He attended many conferences, presented papers, published papers in research journals. He is also a visiting faculty at ICT for PhD scholars. Is visiting faculty as well at BARC for PG diploma in analytical chemistry, and there are many more such activities he is busy with. Thus, there are many more credentials to him. Such a high-profile personality is amongst us today. So, without taking much of his time, I would request Dr. Joglekar to begin with his talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening to all. Can you hear me well and can you see me well? Anyone can
Yes.
respond? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So thank you very much, first and foremost, Professor Patki ma'am. And thank you to the entire management of DG Ruparel College and obviously the Marathi Vidnyan Parishad, the entire team, Anaga ma'am, then Sucheta ma'am, Shubhada ma'am, for all that supports. The month of February typically for the college student is known for a Valentine Day, which comes in the month of February. But I'm so excited and I'm so happy that both the great institutes, DG Ruparel College of Arts, Science and Commerce, as well as MAVIPA, they both have decided to celebrate this month as a National Science Day, where it falls also on this month of February. So congratulations to both these great institutes. I'm personally very happy that the Ruparel College as well as the Marathi Vidnyan Parishad in collaboration is setting up a very good example of series of lectures for the students. I am being given a charge at around 5:30 in my wristwatch and I have a 20 slides presentations and 45 to 50 minutes. So I can assure you, as being from a corporate, that time will be 100% managed. Don't worry about it. This presentation which I have for a PowerPoint is a mixed basket of a motivational dose booster, if I can say so, where I will also try to tell the scholars who are aspiring for higher studies in chemistry or say MSc by research or PhD, and then definitely they will be dreaming to work in MNCs, corporates, companies like Asian Paints and many others. So I am also going to tell them about what the expectations corporates would have from all those scholars. So I will start my presentation by sharing that to you. Is my presentation coming visible? It will take some time.
Yes,
Is it
yes,
coming
sir.
now?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So this is about current trends of research in chemistry and expectations by industries. This is very important that when we are working on what are the research areas which are upcoming, we should also know what the corporates expect. So we will have a presentation on this. First, let us know about the current market scenario. You all students and teachers would appreciate that world is moving fast. Nobody is going to stop for anyone. Even science and technology, the discoveries and inventions and new challenges are also changing. Everything is changing. To give an example, who thought that there will be 2 years of pandemic and all of us would be connected to each other through virtual means? Science and technology, because of the bandwidth, because of the IT support systems. Right now, I am in outskirts in one Konkan area, but still I am connected to you. This is coming because the world is moving fast. The expectations are changing. Example is the Nokia phone. It was with cord antenna. Now today it has gone a history. Today we have an advanced smartphones. Expectations are changing. Second market scenario is change is the only constants. Here I would like to tell to students, please understand you have to move with the change. Corporates always work with their products and processes, keeping in mind the changing pattern. Let me give an example in a lighter vein. If you see the currency notes before the Modi government, Gandhiji was looking at right hand side on any currency note. When the currency notes got changed, pre-printed freshly, Gandhiji started looking at left side to himself. So on a lighter note, the Gandhiji has also changed. Who are we? We have to change with the time. Whether it is a research topic, whether it is an our aspiration, whether it is the challenges which are coming fresh, we have to adjust ourselves with that time. Second is when you take the research, which I'm going to talk about, we have to see in mind the user's point of view, customer centricity. Is this research going to have an application? Is it going to go into the right hands of users' requirement? Or is it only going to publish the paper? We have to be very frank because corporates will look for the people where they get hired for the qualifications. But unfortunately, because of the non-inclination to the business, they get fired. So in this 20 slides presentation, in 50 minutes, I'm going to give you a small mix-up of all that being myself as a corporate man. So we have to keep it in mind that when we do the research, we have to move from good to great. Being good is the minimum requirement to be fit in the business, in the organization, in the teaching area. But today, we don't have to be complacent. We have to move from good to great. That is very important. We have to also see, as the faculty as well as the research students, what are the changing patterns and demands. Who decides changing patterns and demands? The customer, the user. All your research work, there is always somebody who is a user, whether it is an industry or a common man. Person who invented the mobile phone never thought that mobile phone will make a revolution in the world. Steve Jobs, a founder of the Apple, he was the one who imagined that let us have a mobile phone with touch screen. Today, you will see most of the phones are with touch screen, extra gadgets. The new invention is not just falling short. You will have a time where your mobile will get charged by a signal. You don't have to put an electrical adapter. So we have to see what customer wants. We have to see the changing pattern when we decide the research topic, to which I will come slowly. I am just building the pretext to my presentation. We have to also keep it in mind as a current market scenario. What is an upgradation of technology, but at the same operating cost? Please understand, if you take a research in the subject where the development of a product is fantastic, but that product is very high in cycle time. The product is very costly to the current product at the cost. There will not be any buyer, my friends. So you also have to have a practical angle and applied mind for those discoveries and for those research areas. We have to also accept the change. One of the things as a human psychology, I have found that we always resist a change. We always resist a change. For example, when government decided that we will do a demonetization, there was a heavy change, heavy resistance for that change. Any change, even in our personal life, when we change our pattern, so we have to first understand that changing the pattern, we have to also accept along with the time. We have to also ensure that when we work in the research areas, the quality of the product as well as the process has to be well understood. Well understood. We have to also see as a market scenario, products and services with typical signature mark you should develop. Steve Jobs developed Apple, MacBooks. They cannot be hacked as on today. They cannot be even if it gets stolen, they cannot be used. You know it. There are special keys. So can we take a research area, whether it is in chemistry or whether it is in any topic, where we will have a signature mark on it? So to make this simple, the next slide will show you what are those companies which come with signature mark. HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank was the first bank in a private sector who introduced to the customers that banking is also a pleasure. Because I don't want to name the bank, but many nationalized bank, of course, there is a change now, but 20 years back, 10 years back, it used to be a penalty for a customer to go to a nationalized bank and open an account. Non-professional approach, but HDFC Bank, ICICI banks, 20 years back when they came up in the full existence, they introduced the professional parts with a signature mark that banking is also a pleasure. McDonald's, what McDonald's says, the research work, that there are researchers who develop these products. They have a fantastic concept of standardization of product and process. If you take McDonald's French fries in Mulund, where I stay in Mumbai, or if it is in Thailand, where most of the non-vegetarian items are served, but vegans can survive with these McDonald's because their quality, test is everything standardized. The research has gone into too much of raw material approval, process optimization. Hence, that product and process understanding for a research is very paramount important if he wants to work with an application in the industries. Taj Hotels, the great brand. One of the role model which we have is Ratan Tata sir, who has now acquired Air India. Taj also has got a signature brand. What is that? One is a human touch, and second is heritage. They enjoy that a legacy of being a Taj. I will also give example of Asian Paints, my company. 40, 50 years back, we introduced small packs, 50 ml, 100 ml, small packs, because for elections, for cinema posters, there were small quantity required. This has also come through a research. My point is, research necessarily does not mean that you are working on a synthesis of a complex molecule. Research, we are seeing in the subsequent slides, can be on the areas of new applications, new user techniques, new test methods. We will see that. Cadbury, another example. Cadbury is also one of the product which is having a unique formula secrecy. The product, even with your brain cells, will get activated even after 100 years of existence of this company. The same cocoa test and the same composition makes it as a unique. Procter & Gamble, another company who diversified their product ranges. The point of showing this presentation and a slide is, these are the companies where a lot of research has happened. A lot of research is still happening. They are challenging their status quo. They are moving from good to great to create their own signature mark, unique mark, where it can get captured by a user. These are the 6 examples I thought I should give you. There are a couple of snippets and idioms I will be pushing inside my presentation, especially as I said, a booster dose, because already we are into a culture of negativity because of Corona. We are having the virtual teaching. Learning can happen when we meet each other. I would be happy to be at Ruparel College at any point when management wants to teach and give you kind of my experiences from corporates. So these snippets I had just to give you a booster on the inspirations. Waiting for opportunity is laziness. At this age, when you want to aspire for higher studies, you don't have to wait for an opportunity. Grab the opportunity. Missing the opportunity is foolishness. Creating an opportunity is an intelligence. Steve Jobs did that. Earlier, those companies and many others, they did that. So good team building is also required. We will see how in the research areas, whether it is chemistry, physics, bio, how a researcher can build a team with his other colleagues. We will see that. Now, there is a difference between educated people and experienced people. I will tell you one story in a minute. There was a guy who was an MBA. By the way, I teach to MBAs also in XIMR, St. Xavier Institute of Management and Research, Mumbai University. So I tell them this example, which I am reproducing for you. There is a guy who is MBA. Before that, he did his automotive engineering. He was driving his BMW. Suddenly, they had a problem. So he parked the car at the roadside with the hazard lights on, and he opened up the bonnet and started looking into it. Education versus experience. He could not figure out what is the problem. Suddenly, a person came from a native place, Dehati Admi, Gaon ka Admi, and he curiously said, "Sir, can I help you? Can I help you?" He said, looking at this guy with the current kind of ego, looking at this guy, what he will do. But he was into a crisis, so he said yes. So he looked into the bonnet and he came with one wooden hammer, and he put a hammer at 2-3 places. And he says, "Now, sir, start." And the car started with full ignition. Now, this person was an automotive engineer, educated, but with no experience. So the story is like this. So he finally asked that guy, "Aapko kuch dena hai?" So he said 100 rupees. That guy says 100 rupees. So this qualified person with high education said, "Hathoda marne ka 100 rupees." So the guy says in Hindi, "Hathoda marne ka 1 rupaya, but kahan aur kitna marne ka uska 99 rupees." So now with this context, read the slide. Educated people change themselves according to situation, and experienced people change the situation. Can we take up area of research, which is not just for an academic purpose, which is not just for the pay scale, which is not just for the purpose of you getting into some kind of a zone, but whether it will have a value addition, whether it will enrich the experience of the user. So that is what this slide is about. Now let me take you to the basic areas of what are the different branches of chemistry for research. I had a discussion with Patki ma'am, and what I could understand is that I am not here to tell you what research I have done and what are the different areas of research ICTs are doing, BRC is doing. I am here to give you a small, if I can help you, in inspiration, motivation on what are the new menu cards of research which industries are looking. Or for your own betterments, you should take up these subjects, where you not only will have a degree, but with the current central government's motivation, you can have your own startups. In 30 years at different positions, I earn salary. I tell my kids, you do your startups and start to learn to give salaries. We have taken salaries for 30 years. I would definitely like to motivate you and support you that when you take up a research, take the research in any of this field where there is an application. Very important. So let us see the subjects. Analytical chemistry. This subject deals with all instrumentations, all kind of test methods. People feel that which are those areas in chemistry? Boss, you can develop a test methods which will be user friendly. I will give an example. How many of us were aware there are oximeters, and within 2-3 seconds your heart rate, that is pulse rate, oxygen saturated level will come on your screen. These are all developed through these analytical techniques, where the chemists from the chemistry background have worked with electronics and medicine fields, and there is a win-win approach where a lot of inventions and discoveries have come. Inorganic chemistry. I mean, sometimes when I take the interview now in the company, there are people who just make mistakes when I ask them whether water is organic or inorganic. Many people mistakenly still say it is organic. Inorganic chemistry is a vast area where you can work on many subjects: pesticides, insecticides, fundamental research in inorganic chemistry, complex reactions, organic chemistry. In our time, organic chemistry was very favorite. All synthesis, all kind of, there is a lot of scope of organic chemistry research in pharmaceuticals. Physical chemistry deals with kinetics, thermodynamics. It is a mixture of physics, maths, and chemistry, fantastic areas. There is industrial chemistry, where live project cases are taken up. And finally, there is a fundamental chemistry. I will tell you, my friends, The pandemic and Wuhan virus, that is China virus, COVID-19 virus, have told us that there is going to be a desperate need. Students should take up fundamental research because everybody is going on application research, maybe for career building, maybe to pursue their MS in US, or maybe to work in the corporates. But there are future pandemic. Marathi Vidnyan Parishad recently had a speaker from Oxford, and he gave a presentation on future pandemics which can possibly come. So this area, fundamental chemistry area, is also one branch where a lot of research is demanding. So typically there are two types of research in chemistry. One is pure research, means basic properties, molecular complex definition, synthesis, and their processes. And second is applied topics, applied research in chemistry, where there are specific goals. Sometimes the research project is sponsored by an industry. Like I was working in UDCT at that time with Hindustan Liver Research Center's sponsored project. And then specific applications. So these two areas are very important. You should always check for. Now, which topic is to be taken? I was witnessing earlier two lecture series. And on 9th, when this first lecture came by Dr. Dige, I remember one of the students asked a question that how can we know a background about a research scholar, research guide, which topics to be checked for? And then he politely answered that you can ask, you can see, I will answer it to addition. If you go to UDCT, ICT now, all research scholars, if you go on the ground floor, their photo, their areas of research, and what topics they are working now, they are all displayed. So my point is that whenever you go to any research institute, please have a discussion, healthy conversation with the faculty, meet different faculties, express your interest which meets with the projects which that faculty may be undertaking. And if it matches, then you are enjoying. It's like a hobby. If you have a hobby and if you spend time with that, you never feel fatigue, right? So if you have some interest, whether analytical, inorganic, organic, whichever, you go with your preparation. You may be rough in your ideas, but go with your views, meet the faculty, ask them. And if that both ideas amalgamate, you come out with a fantastic application work. That's very important. Second thing is that do a literature survey. Abstracts. You go through abstract. Luckily nowadays Google is at your help to everything. Visit different institutes, web portals, understand what topics are happening. So this is one input which I would like to give before I come to the actual topic of recent trends, because I am answering some of these questions in my subsequent slides. So before I go to the slides, as I said, you should be very clear. Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision passes the time. This happens in political scene where actions are without vision. And vision with action can change the world. Whatever 6 companies example I gave, whatever corporates expect, they want a catalyst in form of a research fellow who understand the vision of the company and draw action plan to meet, to change the world. Steve Jobs did that. Narayan Murthy, Infosys did that. Many other leaders are doing that. Even if you see a movie of Swadesh, where that character Mohan Bhargava, he changed the world. There was a water problem. He used his degrees, experiences in that native village to make water flow by virtue of that simple basic science. That's very, very important. So good researchers should have a right perspective, drishtikon, to see what is that I'm going to do. Am I going to only achieve a PhD degree? Or am I going to achieve something more than that? Will I be remembered for a degree? Or will I be remembered for a discovery where my product is used, process development done, is used forever? That's very important. Now let us see new trends of research areas in the chemistry. First and foremost, you have to be a good reader, my student friends. Read the current affairs. Watch the TV channels where they depict non-political and science and fictions, technology related topics. If you see that, if you are a good reader, other than page 3, you will find the first bullet point. climate change is going to be a tremendous upcoming area for research in chemistry. Climate change, ecological imbalance, this is all going to be a threat to mankind. Right now, I am giving a lecture through virtual mode from outskirts of Ratnagiri, where there is no problem with oxygen levels. We are with the nature. But look at the situation happening in metros, some metros. I am telling you, after 10 years, like telephone booths, there will be oxygen booths where people will have 15 minutes of sitting and you will have oxygen, because we are already depleting oxygen levels in metros. If you see, the virus COVID-19 has given a rise. Nobody thought that oxygen, which we are freely being getting 21.2% by Mother Nature, will be so costly when you go to hospital and they charge you heavily for oxygen usage. So global climate change is going to be a big thing where chemists can decide the topic, which are those areas where they can work on environment friendly, eco-friendly, carbon footprint, those areas which can give. Drinking water demands. I don't know whether you remember, many of you, Albert Einstein, the great Einstein sir, said that if there is going to be a third war, because already in the history there are first war and second war. If there is a third war, it will happen because of scarcity of water. पानी के लिए war हो जाएगा. Now don't you see that in India, जिस देश में गंगा बहती है, there is a 20 rupees per liter of distillery water. What a paradox. Big problem. So can we work on areas like desalination of water? Can we work as a chemist along with those who are engineers? Let us not put winkers like the horse. घोड़े जैसा मत देखो that I am a chemistry man, I will take up the topic only in the chemistry area. My appeal to you is that take the topic which has got application and where you may require a support from engineering. Have a knowledge management discussion with other research fellows from other universities, other college. Use the IT to talk to international research scholars. Understand what applications they are doing. So this is one area which is going to be a big ticket item, drinking water. Toxicology, lead-free products, preservative-free products is another area where the chemistry research is very much in demand. If you see today, Kisan sauce or any other kind of a tomato ketchup, they all contain the different grades of preservatives. They are all acidic in nature. I don't know how many of you are aware. If you check the pH of your, I don't want to name the brands, cold drinks, they are very hazardous to your intestine. They are all with 4.5 pH. So there is going to be a big demand in the chemistry research where you develop the products without preservatives, but still they are definitely long lasting. Can we have a products without any toxic products, lead-free products? Even Asian paints, we used to add lead dryer so as to make the paint dry. But that also, we have done it without lead. The research in the chemistry and paint applications, our people have developed paint without lead. We are the first paint company with no added lead in our products in India. The fourth challenging area for chemistry research fellow is to work with biodegradable plastics. Very importantly, plastic is going to be a threat. For years and years and hundreds of years, it does not degrade. So can we develop in polymer science, which is a branch of chemistry, a biodegradable plastics? Can that happen? So that is one area which is upcoming. So my point is that don't look at research areas which guide fields. You have a discussion with different guides, different institutes. What are these demands? See, you will derive your topic of research when you know the problems. Will you not agree? If you go to a medical doctor, first you have to tell the problem, then only he will give you medicines. So first you visit your websites, institutes, Google out what are the problems are on hand. I am doing this on this presentation for you. This is not covering all, but these are the macro-based, broad-based areas where you can work on your research using chemistry. Then pandemic, protein and immunity boosting drugs. There is a myth that this subject line means only pharmaceutical science. No. You ask any good pharmaceutical company, they always hire good chemistry research people because there is a lot of application of chemistry and chemical technology in those pharmacist line, especially for protein and immunity boosting drugs. Finally, these molecules are nothing but chemists only will understand He will develop those molecules, right? So this area is also one upcoming area. New products with specific performance is also equally important. I will tell you a story which we used to always talk about in our company. Whenever we used to have a burettes and pipettes as 30, 40 years back for testing wastewater or whatever, we now have all automatic probes with digital probes. So whenever we go to a wastewater stream and check COD, BOD values, chemical demand, biological oxygen demand values, they come within a fraction of a seconds. So you can develop as a chemistry, those especially who wants to do analytical chemistry, instrumentation, they develop the products with specific performance. I just gave you one of the example. Then make the research areas where the application is very easy. You can't develop a product or a process which is very tedious for a common customer. Don't do that. So when you take up the research, take the topic which is relevant and see the application is user friendly, because finally customer is going to use it. Let me add research trends in the areas of chemistry. One of the myths which I said in the earlier slide is work not in a kind of a watertight compartment. Don't work in silos, work together. The time has come where it is not me, it is we. That W, उसको उल्टा करोगे तो M होता है. So it is not ME, me. Now it has to be WE. We have to work with a team. The time has come where chemistry research fellow has to take up the topic and understand from a pharmacist or a pharma company what are those applications of basic chemistry, fundamental chemistry, application chemistry, where they can do a joint development. I have seen many chemistry PhD scholars who have taken Indian and US patent with working on a pharmaceutical problem with basic research. Use of AI, artificial intelligence, for predictive diagnosis, very, very important. Today the time has come where we have to be proactive, not reactive. Will you not agree? We have to be proactive. So there are many devices which have come up where you can develop with basic chemistry understanding and with the help of instrumentation or electronics engineering with artificial intelligence, where you can diagnose the issue before it happens. There is also one area where you can work is biochemistry. If you look at any pathology reports, all those test methods, there will be a footnote, because generally we see only a result in the pathology reports. These footnotes refers to many test methods which are developed by chemistry research only. So this is one area where for biological applications, medicinal applications, the chemistry research can happen. Future pandemics and virology using chemistry in one area. We had a swine flu. We had some other kind of pandemics which came up, chikungunya, and then dengue. Now we had COVID-19. What next? Because virus is also upgrading their own applications, like Android. They are also upgrading. The time has come where we have to be predictive in our research. So we have to be prepared about what can be the other future trends, where the basic chemistry research can happen with the virologist or microbiologist to work with all that. One of the top subjects in the research for chemistry is nanotechnology. I'm sure that many of you must have heard about this word nanotechnology. So as much as the particle size less, the kinetics gets developed and bettered. So we have to work with nanotechnology, UDCT, that is ICT, in their chemistry department. A lot of research is happening on nanotechnology. This one area is damn good for a fantastic research area. You will definitely get a grant by industry or by CSIR or many other, because country needs this. Today the time has come where we have to conduct research not for the degree purpose, but for the nation and but for the users. That is a mindset which we will have to change. Sustainability, carbon footprints. These are the demands which international treaty is happening. You are aware that United Nations also is demanding, India has signed that treaty, that sustainability, that we will not, there is a restriction to the emission of carbon to the universe. Mother Nature has given us too much of ecology, and as a mankind, it is our duty to give it back. Every action has a reaction. That is the principles in physics. But Lord Krishna has told this 5,000 years back. The way you do karma, you will get back equal and opposite direction. Same is with the sustainability. If we are not serious on climate change, sustainability, ecology, environment, we will have a lot of problem. So to ensure and warranty our future generation of mankind, lot of subjects using chemistry can be taken up on the area of sustainability. There are various institutes, prime institutes like IIT, ICT, they work and many others on these areas of sustainability. So I appeal to many of your research scholars who want to aspire for higher education. This is a top demand like nanotechnology. Wastewater treatment, this is another area which you can take it up. Because today we are facing this as a challenge. Today, if you see, there are a lot of newspapers which are telling that a lot of fish are getting killed or they are floating because of the toxicology, because of the pollution. So this area is something where you can also work on. Wastewater treatment, wet air oxidation, different techniques which are there available. Very, very high demanding by the companies. Food security using special agents. Unfortunately, in our India, the political maturity, in my personal opinion, is not high. And hence, we come across a newspaper reading that particular government stores where food got wet because of monsoon rain, and because of that wetness, finally they make wine out of it. Maybe that was a political agenda, pre-thought. I don't want to comment on. But can we develop using a basic chemistry, inorganic chemistry here, any specialty chemicals where the foods can be secured, stored over a longer period of time? We are facing an issue of storage and stacking of these food grains, especially the farmers. They are struggling. Already they are into a big problem. So can we devise any such help of
हॅलो जोगळेकर सर. हॅलो. मला वाटतं नेट इश्यू आहे, आपण थोडा वेळ थांबूया.
बरं बरं चालेल.
आम्ही संपर्क करतोय.
ठीक आहे चालेल, बघू आपण थांबूया.
जोगळेकर सर. संपर्क होत नाहीये.
आपण थोडा वेळ थांबूया का तुमच्या
थोडा वेळ
फोनवर-
थांबूया, बघूया.
हा.
सर जॉईन होत आहेत. जस्ट 1 मिनिट, जॉईन होत आहेत.
ओके ओके.
हॅलो, हा सर.
हॅलो, ऐकायला येत आहे का?
हो 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 सर.
आय एम सॉरी, देर वॉज अ नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लेम बियॉन्ड माय कंट्रोल. So how long it was without network and without my connection? 5 minutes?
या.
So I think I should be quick so that I can complete my presentation in a time. Okay. So
Yeah.
I have got 10 more minutes. So can you see my presentation? Just tell me if you can see it.
No, not yet.
I will do that. I will do that. I'm doing that.
Yes.
Is it visible now?
Uh, yes, it will start now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was talking about this green tech. Sorry for this because it is beyond my control and we are at 500 kilometer away.
Okay, sir. No, no
But
issue.
luckily, thanks
Yeah.
to the backups which I have.
Yeah.
So I was talking about innovation and value-added research which we should have. Another area where chemistry research can happen is agrochemicals, because a lot of organic people are without any added toxic preservatives. So that is one area which we should have. And I would also suggest these research scholars to have interactive sessions with other research scholars from other institutes, other countries. I will tell you what researchers should aim for. Researchers should aim for doing research for the benefit of mankind, and they should work to test test success, like how Google has done. Now today I am at outskirts and Google will tell me, because of their application of artificial intelligence, how was the network connection. Then when I use Google Map, they will tell me which are the review I can give for any particular, my check-in at the hotel. Everything is properly mapped. Apple works for the innovative instinct. Nobody told Steve Jobs to develop a mobile phone with touch screen. Okay. Today, unfortunately, human touch is missing, but smartphone touch is a must for the generation. So this instinct also Apple has. So we can develop such kind of instinct. Facebook, they always challenge themselves. Nobody tells them to upgrade their own. So Mark Zuckerberg is a great person who always challenges his own status quo. So we should also take up the projects where our research should be self-challenging. E-commerce, nobody thought we should have a research topics because of out-of-box thinking. E-commerce, Uber, then all those Flipkarts. Uber does not own a single car, but entire country is on Ubers and Olas. So can we take the research in the areas to give the products and services at the hand of the customer, using basic chemistry principles, developing the products, which is along with the engineering team. Then design your products which are user friendly. I gave an example in the beginning, oximeter, very user friendly. Today temperature gauges or probes, very user friendly. You have IR thermometer, which you can without body touch. So can we develop something like that? Carbon footprint data without any toxic items. So why am I all telling you this? So many items which are of the new trends in research. Because 20th century, the research was with due to industrialization, to minimize the cost of transportation, to conserve the energy's cost, material cost, raw material cost, and to work for a given nation, and because of the public policy applicable in that nation. But in the 21st century, the research, not only in chemistry, but in other areas, are market driven, not because of industry. Markets, बाहर का market जो बताता है, we want that. They are all strong in communications. How you communicate quickly about your research products will make you a winner. And they, all these research products and designs should be IT and network enabled. Very important. Today, this session is also because of IT and network. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult for us to get connected in this pandemic era. And very importantly, the research should be with knowledge management. Can we have a portal where different Mumbai universities, Maharashtra universities, international universities can come together under one topic and share their knowledge? Because even for a year or two, if we are going to be there with the virus, can we have a conferences, research conferences? We may not. So can we do this knowledge management? And very importantly, you can have a research for a nationalism. The current government says be vocal for local products, make in India. So there are a lot of incentives coming if you want to have your own startups. So that is also very important. Now, what are the challenges for researchers? Make mindset shift from traditional research to autonomous research. Very important. Move from theory-based research to practice-oriented research, practical knowledge. And very important, I always tell, be solution engineer. We have many engineers, mechanical engineer, production engineer, electronics engineer. But when you join corporates, they don't want somebody who chants always problems. They want somebody who gives solution. So be a solution engineer when you take the research areas. Subscribe to TV and social media channels where you see not the films, you should enjoy also, but you showcase science, technology, and fictions so that you will know. National Geography, various channels are still there. They talk about the futuristic research. Work in a very unique way, not just to get the PhD degree, not just to get a recognition by a degree, but where you get a satisfaction out of your research work in the hands of users. Demonstrate your visibility with confidence. When I take my topics in the UDCT, ICT as a visiting faculty, I tell them that always I have seen R&D people, they work only with the winkers. They don't go to shop floor. They don't have ability to communicate. This is a problem. We have to see that we are well versed. We know what the companies want, what the entire world is changing with. So communication is very important key where it will give you a confidence, self-confidence. Having courage to counter reasoning is very important. Always we get setback when somebody is a critic to us. So we should have a confidence and courage to accept those critics also. And very importantly, communicate. If you don't communicate, nothing will happen. So I am telling this, if egg is broken by an outside, अंडा जब बाहर से फोड़ते हैं, a life ends. But if egg is broken from within, life begins. Great things always begin from within. So though I am telling you some of my experiences at my research time as well as in corporates, I mean, if internal force is not there, nothing will happen. So openness in your teams of research with your teachers, faculties, and other institutes will make this happen. So there is a story which, last couple of slides, there is a story with Sasa and Kasav, hare and tortoise. We know it, generations by generations. Hare has won. Initially, tortoise won because of the laziness of hare. Then hare won it, as the story goes, because he understood how my father made a mistake. But what is the end to this story? The end is very productive. Both these entities, hare and tortoise, says, can we work together as a team so that any animal in the jungle, we can win? Whenever there is a land, the turtle will the turtle will be on the back of the hare, and whenever the lake is there, the turtle on the shell, the hare will be there and they will crawl through. So can we work in the research areas by crossing our borders, challenging our borders, and work with different applications? As I said, the forensic science, toxicology, pharmacy, any other subject. So that is also, I suggest you to think. Always have an inclination for innovation and out-of-box thinking. Because innovation and out-of-box is not for your existence, but it will make you to survive in the competition. Please keep that in mind. And always keep customer, user in your mind when you publish your research work. Because customer is not just jo kashta karega or marega. He is a god. Customer is a god. Value addition, VA score in your research area is also to be kept in mind. What is value I am going to add by doing this research? Or is it only for a degree and a research paper? So that also we need to do. Because result is an outcome of the efforts. Make a fantastic efforts. Meet different companies. They are taking internships also during your PhDs. Follow them. What kind of expectations they have from the educationalists, that also you can see. Lastly, what industries look from us? When you do your higher studies, PhDs, they just don't look at your capacity. They look at your capability. Sachin Tendulkar, Vinod Kamli, both students of Ramakant Achirekar, but only out of two, one become master blaster. Capacity, minimum requirement. Capability, your aptitude, attitude is very important. So when you do research, keep that mindset also open. Effectiveness is more important than just being efficiency. That I gave example in the beginning, automobile engineer driving a car and that gaon wala admi repairing the car without any degree. Effective. Finally, industries will look who gives the result. Please keep that in mind. Result, not just analysis. Because many research people have a typical style. They do a lot of analysis. Finally, organizations are very short-tempered. They want fast results. So keep that focus in mind. Competency, not just the knowledge. As I said in the beginning, you may be hired because of degrees. But are you competent to solve the problem? Are you a solution engineer? You may be mechanical engineer, electrical engineer. You have to be a solution engineer to give a problem. So that also inclination you should have. Be a catalyst, not just an inactive member. That's why I take some programs where I make our academicians or make our research people to be extrovert, because we are always an introvert kind of. We have to come out of our shell. So that also is very important. Be multi-skilling, have proper aptitude and attitude. In corporates, when you come in an interview, they know that you carry a degree, but they will question you, discuss with you in such a way to understand what is your attitude and aptitude towards a situation. That makes you a perfect individual, and that creates your character than you with a degree. Keep that in mind. Use of application and not just a research. That's also important. So these are all things which you always have to keep it in mind, other than the research trends which are happening in chemistry. So we are touching the 50 minutes. So this is a recap. Last slide. Live with the current market scene to understand new trends in chemistry topics. Be open to accept challenges and change. Research itself is defined as search and search. If you don't find, research. Aspire for to be a good part of team and show leadership abilities. You should get noticed. People should not know who is Hemant Joglekar. If I'm a research fellow, they should know, oh, that guy. If you are silent, nobody wants silent movies, right? वो गया ज़माना. So be vocal for a right cause, for a right purpose, and be very confident in your topics. Aspire to be a good top. कोई भी team होगा, companies में when you join, they want somebody who says, oh, I will be volunteering. We need people with those abilities of leadership who will lead from the front, even though they are from research background. So these are all attributes of a good team leader you should learn while doing research. Always focus on innovations, out of box thinking, and always look for in the newspapers what industries are working. So that's my presentation. Sorry again for those 4 to 5 minutes internet issue, but I think still I could cover my 20 slides, and I would be very happy if at all there are any questions, reflections or thoughts. They are all welcome. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we will just wait if someone wants
Sure,
to ask a
sure.
question. They may write in the chat box or
Yeah,
they may
absolutely no
ask.
problem.
We'll just
I have
wait.
observed that day before also. And
Yeah.
any point of time, if there is a collective questions which are coming with Professor Patki ma'am, my contact is there. My WhatsApp is also there. It is not only for those 1 hour we are connecting. This is a National Science Day, and there are a lot of efforts to institutes have taken. You all are welcome. If I can be of any help and support to Ruparel College in future also, absolutely you are welcome.
If anyone has a question, you can please type in the chat box.
Sir, please stop the sharing.
Yeah, I will do that.
So, can we go ahead if there are, nobody have typed any questions? Yes.
I believe all my
Yes.
slides
Yeah.
were visible. All my
Yes,
slides,
sir.
ma'am, was visible even after
Yes.
that couple of minutes break. They were all visible.
Yes, they were visible.
Yeah.
Someone is asking a question.
Yes.
If I like something which is not moving with the trend to the modern world, then should I stop doing that?
No,
That
it
is
will
a
not
question.
happen that if you are liking what you want to do and it is checked that it is happening as an application for the user, then it will not fail. But if you are taking a topic which you like, but there is no application where your research scientist, your guide also feels that that should not be a topic, then such question and such thought will not happen. So my suggestion is that go for a win-win approach. That's what I said in the beginning. You decide what top 5 areas. I remember a day before that professor also told the same thing, that, when I went to UDCT in 85, I mean, my research guide, I told him what is that my likings are. He made me to visit his laboratory and he asked a senior research scientist to brief me which are the current projects on hand and which are the projects of the future. And then after 15 days, he gave me 15 days and he said, tell me which area you would like to work. And if we go with that, then the failure, this question will not come. That's my answer.
So, can we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will go ahead with the last part of this session. So it is the vote of thanks to the today's speaker, Dr. Hemant Joglekar. He spoke on the current trends in the chemistry research as well as in the what are the expectations from the corporate world. Sir, you have given the informative, knowledgeable, and inspiring talk. The takeaway from your lecture is basically go into research just not only because of academic purpose, but instead see where there will be applications, whether there are applications. You have opened a big box containing many topics in the chemistry, not only chemistry, but the subjects which are along with the chemistry, such as maybe global climate change, biochemistry, and sustainability, biodegradability, and so on. So you have talked about so many topics. And along with this research, in various subjects, you gave us one more view is to become a solution engineer, not just a problem engineer. So I think that was very great, sir. So I thank you from, on behalf of Physics Department of Ruparel College. And that was very good. And I hope that we will again meet sometime during such a lecture again, and we will have your views again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. My response is that any point of time, anyway, when the college goes offline and where we can meet eye to eye with the students, I have no hesitation to support Ruparel College. And of course, I am there with Marathi Vidnyan Parishad. I can do a revisiting of this presentation, or anybody who wants to have a one-to-one counseling with my little bit of experience. And even for your final year students, I am there all the time, ma'am.
Yeah.
Best wishes to the college. Thank you again for management and entire Marathi Vidnyan Parishad team, and best wishes to students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.